morning, everyone. How are ya? It is a very beautiful morning. I had an opportunity to talk to the escort here. He's the one that, well, he's not the actual escort, but he fills out our paperwork. And then once everything is okayed, he sends us down to the port, and then someone will escort us from the gate over to the actual loading area. So he is checking to see whether or not I can go over there or not, because we were supposed to be planned, our original plan was Friday, but I'm not going to sit here for 3 days. So apparently Loblaws said we can go in today, so they're going to verify it. So hopefully that'll be okay, and then we can head down there. Little on the chilly side this morning out here. Feels like British Columbia summer weather is what it feels like, or British Columbia fall weather, or spring. Anyway, it doesn't feel like winter. You'd never know that we're in the month of almost in the month of December. So, yeah. So this is the normal routine when you come down to the port of Hueneme to do your pickup over at the port. You have to come here and you have to get the okay. Unless you have a Twix card, you can't go to the port. You have to have a Twix card is like a pass. It's almost like a little pass that you have that it'll give you permission to go into the port. It's kind of a security thing, because the ports are very high security there. That's one of the reasons why they have this set up. So we'll just wait to see what my friend over here has to say, and hopefully it's good news and they give me the okay to show up, and I'll probably be sitting there for several hours, because that's usually the way it works at that port. Okay, we're on our way to the port. Yeah, they gave us the okay. Last night, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. 3 o'clock in the morning. Several cars were doing donuts in that park, on this road back here. A lot of the young guys come here and just rip up the road with their tires, and man, I wish I could afford tires like that. So anyway, so the routine is we'll make our way down to the port here. Fortunately, I've been here before, so I do know the routine, and there'll be a guy waiting for me there at the gate. That's the way they used to do it anyway. And they will give me an escort to the port itself. And then we check in, and then the waiting begins. We'll see how long it takes for us to get in there and get our load. And then we have to hit the next place, which is about 9 miles from here. And I did some Google searching on that. And the reviews of that place is not good. A lot of drivers say it takes them 8 hours to load 2 skids, and I'm like, I really hope not. Because, gee, I get, you know what, that's kind of normal out here in California. I'm not even going to complain about it if it happens. Just get a request to layover and say, it is what it is. What do you do, right? But you never know. I always try to greet everybody with a smile and say, how are you? And be as pleasant as you can. The aggressive drivers, the ones that complain and get mad, those are the ones that usually get pushed to the back, and I know that. But I just don't do that to kiss a lot of butt. I do that because I'm a friendly guy. I am. I say hi to lots of people, and I try to make a really good impression. You know, we got our company logo on the door, on the trailer, on our vest. We got to do everything in our power to give our company a good name by being a good representative, and that's what I do. That's what I try to do. So we are. This is actually technically Oxnard. This little area here. It's very, very. It's got a very interesting culture to it. If you ever go into any of these little stores, these food marts, I went into this food mart one time, and it's almost like you're in Mexico. It really is. It's kind of neat, actually. Yeah. Anyway, we are almost there. Okay, gotta see how you do this again. Alright. I guess I come up to here. I don't know if I gotta give him this or not. Good, how are you? Do I show that to you or?
Hold on to that, give me your ID.
Thank you.
By yourself?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Now I gotta follow this guy here. Some big ships here, huh? These are the places I love to go to, places like the ports. There's Del Monte right here. I didn't have to go very far. And if I can remember, the staging area is right here. Don't tell me they're going to make me park right there. Oh, really? Okay. Thank you. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be parking it right like this. Do I need to give that to you?
Yes, sir, and your trip number.
Oh, you mean the
456 number?
1 second. Okay, well, we have left the other place, the other port, because it's the wrong place. I'm not at the right place. Somebody wasn't communicating properly, because I had instructions to go down to this port, and now they're telling me at the port I'm at the wrong place. I should be up here. So if that's the case, we just paid for an escort to get down there, plus we also paid a fee to get into the port, and it was all for nothing. I don't quite know what happened with that. All I know is that somebody's not going to be happy about having to dish out all that money for nothing. So we will make our way down to the other one. All right, so they're putting us in a door 7. This is going to be a very heavy load. And they asked me, how do I want to load this? I'm like, well, what do these things weigh? It's 28,000 pounds or something like that. So I told them to put 2 in the nose and then 2 all the way up. Hopefully that will do the job. I have already pre-cooled my trailer, so everything should be good. we're all done with our cantaloupe. That's what we just loaded on, about 10 or 11 skids of cantaloupe. The unfortunate thing is the next place I'm loading at is not going to be ready for me until tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to have another day of layover today, probably another day of layover tomorrow, because the reviews of the place I'm picking up at are not good. And apparently when you go there, you're waiting 4 or 5 hours. So chances are I won't be going anywhere tomorrow either. So maybe after I get back from California, I'll ask them to give me something where I can get some miles in, because every time I come down here, it's like 2 or 3 days of waiting at a time. You just can't pay bills by doing that. You just can't. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my day. I'm heading over to a place right now to get a little bit of fuel for my reefer, because I'm going to be sitting for at least 20, 48 hours. So I need to make sure I got enough fuel in my reefer. I've only got 3/4 of a tank or half a tank, so I got to top it up. I got to anticipate waiting another 2 days. I really do. Well, my friends, I went back to where I was last night, and I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because of all the cars that go down that road and do donuts and just driving up and down the road like crazy. You've got people bringing prostitutes down that road. I seen some of that last night. And the only positive thing was there was a porta potty in that area, so at least there was a bathroom, but they moved that. So the field moved that way in the middle of the field. I'm like, great. So the place where I loaded today, which is this place right here, I called them and asked them if I could park there overnight, and the lady there said absolutely. So they're called Anacapa Fresh Logistics. My thumbs up to these guys. Amazing people. They were so kind and said, yeah, absolutely, you can park here tonight. And I was so very, very, very happy about that. And this is them over here. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. Very, very nice people. So I'm just gonna park it over here, and I'm very happy with that. It's nice to have a place to park for the night. They got a nice big lot in here, but I'm just gonna turn it around and park in one of these stalls here where I can at least get out. Good morning, everyone. Just after 8 a.m. and I am on my way to my second pick. Excuse me. I called them this morning. They have verified that it will be loaded today, and they said last check-in is at 4 p.m. and I thought that's my appointment. That was my appointment, but it's not. That's the last check-in. You never know. Might get loaded earlier than I thought. So that is where we are heading. Oxnard is getting hit by some really, really interesting weather. It's 9 degrees Celsius out here. And lots of wind. It was like monsoon weather out here this morning. The wind was blowing, the truck was shaking, and lots of water. So these crops are getting hit by some really good water. I'm sure the farmers are quite happy with what they're getting out here. They don't have to use their own water resources. God is providing it for them. Yeah, so once we make our way to this place, I don't know how long I'll be sitting there, but the sooner I get checked in, the better. right, we're almost at our second pick here. I looked on Google Earth, as I strongly recommend. For those of you that have not heard me say this before, get Google Earth Pro, download it onto your laptop or onto your iPad or whatever it is you use, and punch the address in when you're connected to the internet. Obviously, you need to be connected to do that. And just get a good look at where you're going to be going. You can actually get a street view. You can see the tracks on where the trucks go. So I was able to see an aerial view, a street view of this place right here when I looked at it. And so I know how to get in, because I looked at some reviews and some people were complaining about blindside parking. And the only reason why you get blindside parking if you prematurely cut into the lot, and I noticed that if you go all the way around, then you're okay. So I'll see how busy these guys are today. Lord willing, we will get out of here with a decent time. And truck parking is right there. Okay, so I like to respect the rules of the yard, just in case they have the cameras watching. All the difference in the world how they're going to treat you if you don't obey the rules of their yard. Well, this place is called Primetime International, and which is this is Samis, California. I went over there to find out what's going on, because I've been here since 8:30 and it's now 3:32. And they said they may not be loading me until 6 or 7 o'clock. And I asked them what's going on with that, and they said it's not their product. There's product coming in from whole different places, and that's what they load. It's almost like they're like a cross dock or something. This is the way Loblaws does things or whatever. So I said to them, I said, okay, I mean, it is what it is. When I run out of hours, because I probably will, can I park here for the night? Because what am I supposed to do, right? And they said, no, you can't park here overnight. And I said, okay, so what do you do? What do drivers do when they run out of hours? And he says, well, you can park on the street. And I'm like, that's not very safe, because the shoulder's very narrow. And he says, nothing we can do about it. That's the rules here. So that's something I think California needs to do. They need to do something about this. They need to implement some kind of a rule or law, which I know it's wishful thinking, because I know California hates truck drivers. They would, if they had it their way, there would be no 53-foot trucks, trailers in their state. But they really need to implement something. I guess somebody has to get killed on the side of a highway, parked on the side of a highway, before they will implement a rule that if you are going to hold someone up all day, like he was actually saying, well, you didn't have to come by yet. You could have waited and then check in later. I went, it said last check-in was 4 p.m. It did not say when I had an appointment. I had no idea when you were able to load me. When I first checked in with this lady here, she did not give me any specific time. So how am I to know when I was to be loaded? I don't know. Telling me last check-in's at 4 o'clock does not tell me anything. So if she would have said, well, we may not be able to load you until 4 or 5, then I probably would have sat somewhere else. But nevertheless, by the time they finally load me, it's going to be too late to drive anyway, because I don't drive past midnight. So looks like when I eventually finally get done here, I am going to have to go on personal conveyance as an emergency situation and to get to a place of safety where it's safe to pull over, whether it's a rest area or a truck stop. But that seems to be the norm. Well, they're calling me. I can hardly wait what they're going to say. Hello. Yes, it is. Oh, door 2? Okay, thank you. Okay. They called Loblaws. And apparently one of the other vendors is not showing up, so I get to back into a dock now. That's awesome. We are done here. 8 hours later, we're moving. We got a whole 5 hours we can drive, but I won't be driving for 5 hours though. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. Before midnight anyway. I'll see what I can do. Traffic tomorrow is probably going to be a little bit ugly in the major cities because of Thanksgiving out here. But we're moving. You know what's funny though? It didn't seem like I sat there for 8 hours because I've been trying to work on my computer. I just want to say this to you guys. If you got a MacBook Pro or a MacBook or whatever it is, and you see that operating system Cantaloupe or Cantaloupe, whatever it's called, stay away from it. It's a 64-bit operating system and it will not agree with any of your apps that are on your Mac. It'll destroy everything on your Mac, and it's exactly what it's done to me. I was told it's a good upgrade, and I did it, and nothing but problems. So I literally had to remove that hard drive, or wipe the hard drive clean, remove that operating system, and now I'm in the midst of reinstalling the new one, or an older version, just so I can use my editing software, and it's just a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. That Cantaloupe or whatever it is, stay away from it, you guys. Don't install that on your Mac. You'll be really sorry you did. At least wait until they come up with some fixes that are issuing, or that are fixing the issues that they're having. I can't say enough about it. Stay away from it. All right, so we are, I guess this is Somis here, or Somis. North Street, no trucks. Okay, I guess that's this one here. All right, so my dear friends, we're finally moving, and we will see how far we get today. And I am hoping that I can get this operating system to install. It's been installing for 4 hours. And it's not even close to halfway done yet. Jeez. Computers, what a joke. Good morning, everyone. We are on our way out of here. Had a really good rest last night. Trying to remember if I said anything yesterday regarding my laptop. Yeah, my operating system. So normally I'll listen to something on my laptop before I go to bed. Couldn't do that last night because it's not working. So got a good rest, actually. I'm not used to sleeping with nothing playing in the background because I'm always used to some kind of noise in the background, no matter what it is. So, because the laptop's not working, I don't really know how much coverage I'm going to be able to give you guys on the way back to Vancouver. So, unfortunately, that's what it's all about when it comes to computers. They work when they want to, they mess up when they want to, and you're at their mercy when something goes wrong. So, we will go as far as we can because once the cameras fill up with their coverage for the day, I have nowhere to put the clips because I usually put it on my laptop. So if we go from driving into California all the way into Vancouver on our next trip, that's why. So bear with me, my friends, bear with me. Bear with me. Well, as you can see on this Thanksgiving Day out here in the U.S., it is a bit gloomy, overcast, 7 degrees out here. And we're about 200 miles south of Sacramento. So it's not always nice and warm out here. As you can see, it's almost like British Columbia weather. I wouldn't be surprised if it's warmer in BC right now. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go as far as we can today. We're going to try to get at least 600 miles in today. My plan is, what is today? Thursday, to be in Surrey by Saturday, dropping off this load Saturday morning possibly, or Saturday early morning, or maybe, I don't know, whenever. I'll get there when I get there. And then from there I'm going to go on a reset, go home and get this laptop working properly again so we can reconvene our life. It's pretty bad when electronics kind of shut everything down, eh? Isn't it bad? Trust me, if I could put these videos up without a laptop, wouldn't be any problem. And that's why it takes me like 7 days to get a video uploaded. It takes that long to film it, put it together, edit it, the music, and then you got to find a Wi-Fi connection. That is always the fun part. So, again, please bear with me. Please bear with me. And to my good friends in the USA, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope you have a safe holiday weekend. Hi there, it's Trucker Ray again. Welcome to another edition of Bible Break as we continue our series in the book of Revelation, chapter 12 today, and we will be reading out of the New King James Version. And this is a very amazing chapter because we hear of a war in heaven, a war that's never happened before and a war that never will happen again. It is Satan's great rebellion. So if you're ready, we're going to get started right away. I have a little bit of a feather in my throat, if you want to say so. If I have a cough once in a while, please forgive me. Excuse me. So let's get going here. Chapter 12, verse 1. Now a great sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Who is this, you might ask? No, to my dear Catholics, this is not the Virgin Mary. I thought it was at one point in time too, but it is not. We see that later on, so continue to follow with me. This woman is Israel. Jerusalem, the woman is Israel. And the garland of 12 stars on her head represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 2, then being with child, she cried out in labor and in pain to give birth. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadems on his heads. His tail drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth to devour her child as soon as it was born. So here's Satan rebelling. He's taken a third of the angels with him. Verse 5, she bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and to the throne. Why would Satan want to destroy Jesus? Because God had made a covenant with Israel many, many years previous to this. And his objective clearly is to rule Israel, to rule the nations. He made a promise that he was going to do this, that he was going to rule the world, he was going to rule the nations. And meaning with an iron rod, with total authority, with righteousness, with truth. This hasn't happened before. This is a prophecy that will come, probably during the millennial period. I'm pretty sure it's a millennial period. I can't see any other time that it would happen. All right. So if Satan can stop this from happening, he can make God to look like a liar. If I can just prevent this from happening, Satan's thinking, then God looks like a liar. He can't fulfill his covenant with Israel. So this is why he is attempted to destroy Israel and wipe them off the face of the map many, many times through history. Excuse me. Verse 6, then the woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared by God that they should feed her there 1,260 days, 3.5 years. There is a place in Jordan called Petra. It's a bit of a fortress. It's very difficult to get in, very difficult to get out. It's very, very hard for any army to get in there. It's literally a fortress of caves and tunnels. And this is where Israel, part of Israel anyway, though there will be Jews that will be killed. But those that will flee and that will escape, they will end up there. Verse 7, and war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You're probably wondering, why would God allow Satan to be in heaven? Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't have the complete answer for that. All I know is that it's another dimension. Heaven could be the other dimension that we don't see. And then maybe God said, that's it. You're now cast onto the earth, into this dimension. You're out of my presence completely. And also, why would God allow him to be in that dimension or be in his presence? Because God was using him for his own glory. Absolutely. God was using Satan for his own glory. Verse 10, then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ has come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God day and night, has been cast down. That's right, Satan stands before God. He stood before God, accusing us day and night of every little thing we've done. That was his job. That's all he's done. Your tattletale on steroids. Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. All right, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, that you who dwell in them. Rejoice, heavens, for Satan has been cast out. However, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, For the devil has come down to you having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. Satan is mad. He is angry. No kidding. Look at our earth. Look what's going on. Look at the murders. Look at the confusion in the politics. Just look what's going on. The abortions, the evil in people's hearts. It's just insane. Go back to the 30s and 40s and pull someone out of that generation and put them in our put them here. They would be like totally horrified. They would think that they were in hell. Verse 13. Now when the dragon saw that he had been cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child. Gee, has Israel ever been persecuted? Israel's been persecuted non-stop. All the world wars. Ever since she became a nation in 1948, there's been nations constantly trying to attack her, but they always fail. There's been constant attempts to remove Israel from the face of the earth. Gee, I wonder if Iran, the Iranian regime, not the Iranian people don't like what's going on in their own country. It's the Iranian regime who continues to say, we're going to wipe you off the face of the earth. We're going to wipe you off the map. They're going to be sadly mistaken. That is never going to happen. Verse 14. But the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle. Could this be America helping Israel flee to Petra? Maybe, maybe not. That she might fly into the wilderness to her place where she is nourished for a time, and times and half a time from the presence of the serpent. Again, escaping to Petra, I believe it is. 3.5 years. So the serpent spewed out water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman. When you hear a flood, it's always represented as an army. So he is sending a great army after Israel, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. Verse 16, but the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon had spewed out of his mouth. A great earthquake happens and swallows up his army. Verse 17, and the dragon was enraged with the woman. Oh, this must have ticked him right off. And he went out to make war with the rest of her offspring. Who are the offspring? I would say the church. Christians. How do I know this? Because it says, as we continue, who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Who would have the testimony of Jesus Christ? Christians. His church. Again, this is the final verse, 17. And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went out to make war with the rest of her offspring who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. I know a lot of people believe that there will be a pre-tribulation rapture and that we will not see any of this. If that happens, there still will be people converted on the earth. The 144,000 are going throughout the earth, giving the good news and the testimony of Jesus Christ. There will be Christians everywhere. Will this be the bride of the church on the earth at the time, or will this be those that are brought to salvation afterwards? Only God knows. But as you can see, things are really heating up now. Now Satan's been cast down. Now, when was he cast down? Was it a long time ago? Was it recent? Well, if we can clearly see that he has, it says in here, he's been out to persecute the woman. He's been out to persecute Israel. And this has been going on for years. Look at World War II, World War I, World War II, the Holocaust. Satan is here, and he is trying to destroy Israel. And if you just see what the Iranian regime is doing, right now they're building a coalition. In Syria, you've got the Russians, you've got Turkey, you've got Iran. They're prepared, and even Israel's saying they are prepared for war. My friends, Ezekiel 38-39 war is just around the corner. And we will end up doing a study on that once we are finished with the book of Revelation. I want to do Ezekiel 38-39 because I believe that is the next thing on the prophetic calendar. That's just my opinion. My friends, Next time, should I say chapter 13, we will be reading about the beast from the sea, the coming of the Antichrist. Join me.
Hi, I'm Casey from Cherokee, South Wales, and you're watching one of me and my dad's favourite channels, Live on the Road with Yeshua and Tracker Red.
It's very refreshing being out here. You can see that the lake has a little bit of ice on it. It was a bit of a cool one last night, but the ducks and the geese are still out. And I can't tell you how refreshing this is when you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which my body is used to, have a shower, and then go out for a nice walk after my hair has been dried. And how refreshing it is. It's almost like grabbing a cool bottle of water out of the fridge. It's nice, it's refreshing. Something very special about being up early in the morning. It's a nice time to start your day with prayer. Gives me a chance to reflect on the day I had yesterday and to reflect on the day today, what I need to get done. And today I'm going to spend time with my daughter. We're going to go to church, and it's kind of funny. Every time I come into town or we go to church, or we make it there, it's the first Sunday of the month where we definitely go, guaranteed that we go to, and we always end up with communion, which is really nice. I don't mind participating in some communion today. It's nice to share. It's nice to share with your other fellow brethren. I'll never understand how these ducks and geese can sit in such cold water. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing how God created all living creatures to absorb and go through the most interesting weather conditions, whether it's hot, cold. Doesn't seem to bother them a bit. Good morning. It's not a bad day today, considering it's been doing nothing but raining out here for the last 2 days. Temperatures have been very, very cool. Okay, I just came back from my walk. I did my pre-trip about 10 minutes ago, and I decided to do a little bit of a brisk walk. Just do my regular exercise, and we're ready to go. All right, my friends, the reset was good. Had a chance to get my computer fixed. Everything's working great now, so I'm happy about that. And what's on the agenda, you're asking? I am taking an empty trailer down to Silver Hills, I believe it is, bakery in Abbotsford. And I am going to be grabbing a load there that is heading to, they're going to be loading me, and I'm heading to Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, going to be heading east. We'll be crossing over the Sumas border crossing, probably go down as far as the I-90 and then head east. And I looked at the weather forecast for Snoqualmie Pass, and it looks like it's just going to be raining for the next couple days, so I should be okay to get over there today. So that's kind of what's on the plan, or should I say that is the plan, which is kind of nice because I've been doing nothing but California for the last couple weeks, so it'll be nice for the change. And I know I'll be dealing with some fun weather because there is plenty of talk about these weather conditions that are hitting lots of the different parts of the Midwest, also the central area of North America, Canada, and into the US. So we may end up with some interesting weather, but that's all a part of the game, isn't it? So we're gonna head down to Silver Hills, load up there, and we can be on our way. I've not been to this place before. This will be a first. And we should be right up here on the left-hand side on the end. And I see a bit of a dirt area there, so that might be a good place to pull over. I don't know, I can't tell. I don't think that's a road. I think that's their entire... this is their whole area here. This is their property. I thought this was a road from when I seen it up there off the highway, but it doesn't look like it. And oh yeah, looks like fun to get into here. Not much room in here. Well, they sent my manifest here, so I have that. And some of the ladies inside were really nice. They gave me 3 loaves of bread. This is a gluten-free bread. This is just a regular white, gluten-free. Very, very nice. Gluten-free cinnamon bread. Cinnamon and raisin. I just gotta see what this smells like. Isn't that nice? Oh my. That's nice. I really think that's cool that they would do that. So, pretty cool, eh? So I got 3 loaves of bread here. So that's something I did not expect. Anyway, they're loading me here pretty quick here. I think we'll be on our way in no time flat. Okay, we're all done here. And we're heading to the border, which is really nice because the border is just up here, maybe not even 3 miles up the road. That's convenient. I guess I could go over the rock, go that way, but rather I'll go over the border here and head up the I-5 and then get on the 90 from there. Because if there's any issue with border crossing, I'd rather deal with it here than deal with it in Alberta somewhere, right? Ooh, what are you doing? Oh, jeez. They pulled right into that intersection. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know if I can make this turn now. Oh, I might be able to. Oh, jeez. They pulled right in front, right in the middle of this intersection and realized that the light was green over there, and they're like, uh-oh, don't want to be turning left there. Good morning. Just taking my morning walk over in Missoula. That's as far as I made it last night. Almost 600 miles. Not bad for leaving at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or in the morning rather. I did some good mileage. Got here a little bit late, so I still have at least a couple more hours before I can leave until my 10 hours is up. But I love spending this time in the morning. Fresh air, spending time in prayer. It's very nice. You are given the responsibility to get a load to its destination on time, and if you properly plan your route, you can also properly plan sufficient break times and times for exercise and relaxation if you do everything right. There's no other job that I know that I have this freedom, and I'm grateful every morning. Every morning I thank God for what I have for a job. My friends, we are getting paid to travel and see the countryside. There's no other way I can put that. So I'm grateful to God for what He has given me. Just east of Billings, Montana, and we're getting really nice weather out here. I was just admiring the hills here. They don't have a lot of snow out here. I'm sure that's going to change as we make our way closer to January, February. But Montana is such a nice place to drive. It's always so very relaxing out here. I noticed that each state has its own special quality to it. The thing I like about Montana, it just comes across as very quiet. A lot of places you can stop. The hill area, obviously big sky. That's what Montana's famous for. And they keep the interstates and their highways in really good condition, which is another good thing. So it's always a pleasure to drive through Montana. I especially like the rest areas. The rest areas are really nice. I'm going to be stopping in about 11 minutes for my DOT break. I got about an hour and 30 minutes left until I do, so we'll be taking 30, enjoying some of the fresh air. It's about 7 degrees Celsius. A little on the cool side, but beautiful as you can see. Very nice day. Good morning, everyone. Just about ready to get going here. I've already done my pre-trip and went for my walk. A little on the chilly side this morning, -6 Celsius. But can't tell you how much I enjoy those walks. I only take it for 15 minutes. Again, it's a nice time to pray. Reflect on your day, the day you had. Reflect on yourself, things you can do to improve yourself. And it's really something that because before I was always go, go, go. I'd get up, I didn't even have breakfast. I would just clean myself up, make my way back over to my truck, do my pre-trip and go. And now my routine is I get up, I make myself breakfast, I have something to eat, I read my Bible, and then I go for my walk. Or should I say, then I do my pre-trip first, because I like to make sure I don't have a flat tire on my trailer or my truck. And once that is all good, and then I go for my walk. And it feels great, it does, it feels wonderful, just having that fresh air and having that opportunity to talk to God. It's just important to me. And you know, I wanted to mention something too. Somebody left a comment on my last video that if I could leave a timestamp or a timeline or some indicator when my Bible break was on so they can skip through it when it comes on. To the dear friend that asked me to do that, that's something I cannot do. The reason why I do these videos, the main reason why I do these videos is to proclaim the good news of Christ. To proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ, which is the gospel. And to let people know there's a God out there that loves all of us and wants a relationship with every one of us. And to go along with that, God has blessed me with some skills on editing and having the eye for scenery. So I like to share God's beautiful creation. I love to share different parts of the countryside. I love to share what it's like to be a Christian truck driver. For me to warn people when I'm going to discuss the Lord or talk about God or read the Bible goes against everything, every reason why I'm doing these videos. So I can't do that, I'm sorry. If you're watching these videos, God has drawn you here for a reason, my dear friend. Don't reject God. He's trying to get your attention. He is. So, this is why, this is why I do what I do. I love it out here, and I love just sharing sharing how amazing God is, and He's done some wonderful work in my life. And for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you'll know that what I've gone through, the ups and the downs, and it's just, for God to still be holding me together is a miracle in itself. It's a miracle in itself. For to lose a child to a vicious murder and still continue on and able to smile, that is a miracle. That is the strength of God. Why would I not want to tell people how amazing God is when He has pulled me out of a mirror? He's pulled me out of a deep depression and just an amazing miracle in my life. I'm not on medication. I'm not taking any kind of meds. I don't do any kind of alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything. The harshest drug I do is an Advil if I have a little headache or something, or if my back is a little bit sore. But it's been a miracle what God has done in my life. So you better believe I'm going to proclaim how amazing He is. And I think a majority of my audience likes what I have to say. We are in Murdo, I think that's how you say it, South Dakota, and we're going to stop and top up our fuel and do our 30-minute break here, and we'll be on our way. The weather, as you can see, has just been lovely. It's 2 degrees. It's not snowing. That's good news for me. And gotta love it, because it could be snowing very bad right now. It could be terrible weather, especially through the areas that I've driven through. So I've been very blessed, very fortunate, and I'm not going to complain. I got nothing to complain about when the weather is this nice. Yes, amen to that. So this is all new territory for me too. I don't think I've ever driven through here, so this is all new. Oh, the Pioneer Auto is up here. All right, so which way do we go in? Entrance only. I should have signaled, but I didn't know. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, this is the only entrance. La 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 la. Looks like it's a little bit windy out here today. I love exploring these new towns, or they're new for me anyway. I enjoy that. And do we have a lane open here, Ray? Ooh, I think we do. So we'll take this one right here, and they're not staggered, which is nice. The one I filled up yesterday, the Exxon in Missoula, don't particularly like those pumps. They're staggered, so you pull up, you're fine on this side, but then you got to pull up that way. How's my def right now? Oh, I'm good. So we are going to top up truck and reefer, and we'll be good. And then we'll pull over somewhere and take our 30, even though there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of room here. Maybe I should have parked it first. Rats. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. It's a little on the chilly side. Well, I'll tell you one thing, one of the best investments I ever made, and I encourage you guys to do this too, is go to Walmart, go into the undergarment section, and you can get these nice long johns. They're not, well, it's the top long john and it's the bottom one. They're separate. You don't need the bottom ones right now, it's not that cold. But these are really, really nice. And I bought several of these, so these are nice. So make sure you always have something nice to wear, warm to wear underneath your shirts and that. But I'm the type of person where I sleep with a window open at night. So the only time I really need it is when I'm outside doing my pre-trip and the wind is blowing, and it's blowing pretty good this morning. It's about -2 out here Celsius. So it's a little on the cool side. We already did our pre-trip, we're ready to go. And we get to drive through some new territory today, which is going to be nice. I've been through Kansas City before, but I've never been through St. Louis, and we'll be making our way through there in about 6 hours, so that'll be exciting. My good friends Matthew and Jana, they live out there, and it would have been nice to be able to meet up and see them, but I don't really know how well that's going to work out. You never know. Maybe able to do that. We'll have to wait and see. But the most important thing is I want to get through there before the rush hour kicks in. I don't want to be dealing with that. I really don't. This is a nice rest area. This one in Rockport. Very, very nice. Plenty of truck parking. Nice visitor area inside. Clean, super clean bathrooms. And nice place. It's too bad all the truck stop or rest areas aren't like this, but there's a lot of them that are. So can't complain. When you've been dealing with the rest areas that we get in Canada, this is like the Hilton over here, and so is most of them. So Canada could learn a few things from what the US does for their truck drivers and travelers up here, or down here, that's for sure. I think the last time I came through here it was night. It was dark. I don't remember any of this because I have been through here before, I believe. And I think I stayed on the 29. That's what I'm on. And I stayed on it, and I think that's that time I was heading to Kentucky. I think. I think. But ahead of us here, this is Kansas City. This is the downtown area there. And I'm admiring a lot of the older buildings and factories around here. And I remember when talking with Matthew, my friend Matthew, he's from St. Louis. I remember him telling me about a lot of the older places and places like St. Paul, and they've got some older places too in St. Louis. And that's something I really enjoy watching. I like looking at when I'm driving, and that is just the older stuff. That's why I really enjoy driving through Chicago, because there's so much history there. It would be nice to be able to stop and look, but unfortunately, sometimes you just don't have that option. So this is the Missouri River. I'm trying to remember if I did come by here or not. I cannot remember. Can't remember right now. always nice to drive through areas where I've never been through before. I don't remember. And for those of you that are drivers or ex-drivers that are home now, maybe retired, and you remember this route, I hope this route brings some memories back for you. Because I really do enjoy this job. I've talked to drivers where they're just so glad to be retired. They couldn't imagine going back out. They just did not enjoy it. And I'll tell you something, when you are away from it for a little while, and I was away from it for about a month and a half, you really do appreciate how much you do enjoy. If this work is for you, you're gonna know when you spend some time away on how much it impacts you, how much you yearn for it, how much you itch to get back out there. But I do enjoy my job. I do love trucking. I love driving, and it's a pleasure to bring this to you guys for sure. And I don't think I've been this far down here. No, I think this is the first time I've been through here. Yeah, this is the first time I've been through here. I would have remembered this. A closer look at Kansas City. Made it to the outskirts of St. Louis. We got another 4 miles, 3 miles to go until I guess look at all these old buildings here. I love those old brick buildings. Yeah, I guess once we cross over the river, I don't know if that is the Mississippi or not. I don't know yet, but we'll be crossing into Illinois, so I'm guessing it is the Mississippi. I could be wrong, but we'll see. So I don't know if we're even going to get a view of the city or not. We might. But just looking at just so much industrial up here and old buildings. Over here on the right. Truck's got great suspension. Bouncing all over the place. Oh, I can see the arch over there. That's kind of cool. Hopefully we get a better view for those of you that have never seen it. And the old buildings on the right there, the brick buildings. And there's the city center in front of me there. Yeah, it's always fun to come into these new cities that you've never been to before, never seen before. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Yeah, there's a lot of history here. Look at these old buildings, in fact, old factories. Well, they were factories at one time. I'm sure they're still using them. Yeah, I need to get into the right lane here. What do I want here? Northeast. 70, 64. That's the one I want. Old building here that's getting demolished, or it's just falling apart, one or the other. You don't want to be making a mistake. Take a wrong turn. I don't want to be doing that. Yeah, you always got to be paying attention. You got one eye on your GPS and one eye on the road, just to make sure you don't do the wrong turn. My buddy Matthew lives out here. I was really hoping I was going to get a chance to see him, but I just really want to get out of here before the rush hour kicks in. So, I really thought the traffic was going to be a lot worse than it is, but I guess I'm coming through town here at a really good time. Maybe on the way back we'll get a chance to see him. That would be nice. So now we're crossing over into Illinois now. Okay, we have made it to Mount Vernon, Illinois, where we will be topping up our fuel, and we will be doing our 30 here. Trying to figure out oh, there's the Flying J right there. There's a lot of signs over there. It's tucked in between two little ones. It's a little overcast and gloomy here today. Wondering what they're going to end up with, some bad weather today or what? We got a TA across the street. I called the receiver and just to find out what was going on for Sunday. I always like to check and see how early I can check in. And they said I can check in as early as 6 p.m. on Sunday, which is good. And I said, is there any place I can stage myself there? And they says, oh, there's a TA just up the road, 4 miles away. And I said, no, it's okay. I'll figure something else out. The TA, they want to charge you $15 a night for parking, and I just won't pay for parking like that. I just won't. I know there's I think there's a Pilot or a Flying J across from it. But apparently it's never available for parking. So what I'll probably do is I'll just find a truck stop or a rest area a couple maybe 100 miles out of town, because I have a lot of time on my hands now. I've done real good timing, and then I'll just drive straight in on Sunday. Yeah, that's what I will do. Okay, so I need to do my 30s. So what a weird setup this is. How do you... You got to go in that way and out that way. So looks like I'm going to do my 30 first. I think I will do my 30 first. I don't even know if I'm coming in the right way or not. I might be going in the wrong way. Okay. I see a spot right here. I'm going to park it right here. And I'm the only one coming in this way. I got a feeling I'm going the wrong way. That's okay. It don't matter. It does not matter. Well, we are all done our 30-minute break, and I'm gonna make my way over and get my fuel now. How convenient was this? There's a Walmart right there. Right there. Can you believe that? I was able to get some supplies I needed. I couldn't buy any grapefruit when I came over the border because they throw it out. Or should I say I couldn't buy any grapefruit because when you come over the border, the U.S. Customs will throw it out. So I was able to get a few other things I needed. And there's a Walmart right there. What a nice, convenient place that is. Oh, that really made my day. And get this. God is amazing. I bagged my stuff and I'm heading out and I'm almost near my truck and one of the bags break. And I'm like, oh man, because these Walmart bags sometimes are so flimsy, right? And this guy's walking by, he's heading to his truck. And I said to him, says, wow, these bags, man, they're just not meant to last even 5 minutes. He's got a whole bunch of bags in his hand he gives me too. And are you my guardian angel? And he laughed. I thought that was funny. He says, oh God, you always take care of me, even in Walmart. I find that funny. All right. All right. We're gonna top everything up while we're here. And then we'll be on our way. It's still early for me. It's only 1 o'clock. But Illinois time here, it's 2:52. Just cruising along the I-24, and I've decided I don't have to deliver until Sunday at 8 p.m. I called them and they said I can check in at 6 p.m. I'm only 420 miles away. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop in a couple hours at a Flying J, which is going to leave me about a 5-hour drive Sunday afternoon to get to where I'm delivering, which is going to give me more than enough time to complete a full reset, 34-hour reset. I might as well do it, because what's the difference if I drive 3 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow, and 3 hours the next day? I might as well just park somewhere, do a reset, and then just drive in on Sunday. That way, when I'm done with these guys on Sunday, I'll have a full 70 almost to get my load, get the load I'm picking up, get it all the way back to Vancouver, and then be able to head back out again and try to get hopefully a good 6,000 to 7,000 miles on this 2-week pay period that I'm on right now, which just started on the way up here. So I'm gonna get about 3,500. Yeah, I'm gonna get about. I can't figure this out now. I'm not thinking right now. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try for 7,400 miles on this pay period. Maybe I can get a little more. Gonna shoot for gold, baby. But what a great idea that is. I'm thinking, why don't I just do a reset? So that's what I'm gonna do. Do a reset and wrap things up for this particular video. And start again on Sunday. So that's what we are going to do. I'm hoping that when I get to this Flying J, there'll be some premium Wi-Fi there where I will be able to upload a video for you guys. I really hope so, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Sometimes these Wi-Fi connections at these truck stops are not very good at all. Well, my friends, I had to get out and ask the guy behind me there if he could just pull a little bit more into his own lane. He was like 8 feet into this lane, and he also had those things that you open up on the back. They're for like aero. It helps with the wind, or it's supposed to be good for fuel economy. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of parking here. There's a couple spots over there on the other side there, but there's no antenna. I noticed that there's an antenna over here for the Wi-Fi. I'm really hoping it works so I can get you guys a video uploaded tonight or tomorrow anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up for this video, and on the next one you will see the conclusion of this delivery, which will be we'll make our way through Nashville and into Atlanta, Georgia, and then on our way back to Vancouver probably. So I really do hope you enjoyed this one. It's been a pleasure to bring you along for the ride, and we will see you next time. So God bless you all in the name of Yeshua, And I just want to give a shout out to Cam for sending me the hard drive. I appreciate it, brother. And we are using it for our music. So thank you so very, very much. Again, blessings to all of you in the name of Yeshua. And be sure to leave me, send me a shout out if you guys want to get on my video. I always like to post those on my video after my Bible break. If you want to send me a video shout out, record it with your phone sideways. Up to 10 seconds would be great. Or a little bit shorter, whatever you want to do. Send it to truckerray7@gmail.com. Truckerray with the number 7@gmail.com. Send it, just record it right from your phone and send it right on through, and we'll get it on a future video of Life on the Road with Yeshua. Bye for now, everyone. Bye for now.